So here I am. I'm logged in, as you can see up here. I'm going to create a new comic. Call it layered panel to panel. So we'll start off with a blank page, which is the cover. So we don't have a cover. It's just a tutorial on the going panel to panel. So we're not going to actually do a cover, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually do the interactivity for the each panel. So this new version of the comic machine, you can add layers in between existing layers. So we're just going to first do the motion between the panels and then add the layers and then add the text. So I go to my files and I want to add this one. This is the entire, if you can see here, the entire background for the comic. It's a double page spread, I guess. I'm gonna upload it. It'll place it at a 1-to-1 ratio, which is the canvas is 1024 by 768. So we want to probably focus on one panel to start off with, and we're gonna have to reduce the size since it's so big. We're gonna use the slider down here, which makes it a lot easier to adjust the size. Alright, I'm just going to do 2 frames and then I'm going to speed it up because it's basically the same for all of them. So you can adjust it to almost the size with the slider, and then make sure the lock aspect ratio is locked, and then you can use I want to make it bigger actually. You just click and hold it there and it will adjust at a slower pace. It's close enough. Alright. So I want to actually fade in at this position. As you can see, the start and end. The end is still at the size and position that I placed it at. So I want to make it the same for both start and start and end, but I want the opacity to be 0 so that it fades in, and I'll give it a duration of 0.5. I always like easing in and out, so I'll use that, and I'll hit the wait button, which means that a wait button will appear and you have the reader would have to click it before going to the next one. Let's preview that. So it just basically fades in. So I want to set the I want to actually do a transition, meaning move it after the click. So to do that, I have to set the start and end transition, and then when I do that, this add transition shows up. So you have to remember to do both, and when you add transition, this is actually a new action layer. So if I go back, you can see that a new action layer is added. So it's an action layer of the same image file. And what I want to do is, this is the next frame that it's supposed to go to. So I want to scroll it down, and I have to considerably enlarge it more because it's a bit smaller. So obviously, the higher the resolution, the less pixelization you'll get on the frame. Okay, I'll make it as close as possible. Oh, and you want to lock the aspect ratio. Alright, and you can see that the start is grayed out because that's the start is actually what the end of the last action layer was. So the new end is right here, and from the end of the last action layer to the beginning to the end of this one. So, sorry, I'm gonna say 0.5 seconds, half a second. So it'll move from that panel to this panel in 0.5 seconds. I'll use in and out, and I'll hit the wait button. And then I have to save the setting and then add transition. So basically, as you can imagine, I do the same thing. I move it down to the next one. I'll give it a 0.5 duration for the move. Hit set, ease in and out. You can keep it at ease out if you want. Hit the wait button. So it's the same thing throughout. Add transition, and then I will move it over to this one. I have to obviously reduce it in size. I guess, I mean, it depends on you, but I would either choose the width or the height to maximize optimize the screen. So from here on, I'm just going to speed up the video so that you don't have to watch the entire thing. So I've finished the movements. As you can see, this one image I edited 8 times here, so it moves from panel to panel. The last edit, it was a slower time delay duration because it swipes from the right to left, a panning sort of move, but I'll show you in the preview. I'll just preview the entire comic. So I'm clicking it as the button shows up. The next button there. You can see the layers are missing of the the time stone, the text, sound effects, and all other moving layers.